Hello, my name is Jennifer Bland, and today I'd like to bring you a new episode in my series on acing the whiteboard exercise. Other episodes that we have presented have covered things on answering questions on JavaScript, HTML, CSS, and today I would like to give you examples of potential questions that you might be asked as part of your whiteboard exercising on jQuery. Previous episodes, I've actually gone through and done the whiteboarding exercise directly on the board, but instead of doing that today, I'm going to convert over to my computer and I'm going to give you a series of questions that you might be asked as part of a whiteboard exercising covering the topic of jQuery. So watch below and I will show you these questions. Here are a half dozen questions that you might be asked on jQuery as part of your whiteboard exercising when interviewing for a developer position. So let's go through each of these questions. Question number 1. What is the difference between $document.ready and window.onload? Well, the main difference is that document.ready is the earliest possible time that you can actually use JavaScript or jQuery to change the DOM in your browser. The window.onload event actually loads after document.ready. Document.ready loads as soon as the HTML is loaded, but not when all of the content has been loaded on the page. Window.onload occurs later, and it mainly occurs when things like the images that have already been loaded on the page itself. With window.onload, you're limited to only being able to attach one listener to it, but you can attach as many as you want to the $document.ready method. So that is the difference between document.ready and window.onload. Number 2, can you delay the execution of $document.ready? And the answer is yes, you can. The jQuery.holdReady, where you pass in the hold to the method, will hold or release the execution of jQuery's ready event. In order to make this work, this method must be called very early in the document. So what I recommend doing is that you put it in the head of your HTML, and you should put it as the very first line after your script tag, which loads jQuery. If you happen to call this method after the ready event has already fired, then it will have no effect. That's why you want to load it early on, so that you can actually pause the execution of the $document.ready. Number 3, what is the difference between jQuery's detach, hide, and remove functions? Well, let's take them one at a time. The hide function sets the element's CSS display property to none. So it's still there, but you just can't see it. The remove function actually removes it from the DOM, so it's no longer there at all. Detach is kind of like remove. It removes it from the DOM, but it keeps all the stored data and events associated with the matched elements. You can actually reinsert an item that was detached into the DOM. And the way that you do that is that when you detach an element, you actually assign it to a variable. Then when you want to reattach it, then you can take that variable and then just like append it back into the body or someplace else so that it's now available. And that's the difference between the detach, hide, and remove functions. So question number 4, what is the difference between jQuery's Ajax, get, and post functions or methods? And the main difference is the jQuery Ajax, that is kind of the umbrella method that is used. The $get and the $post are subsets of the Ajax method itself. The biggest difference between the implementation standpoint between those two is that you pass an object into jQuery's Ajax method in order to get all the necessary parameters that you need to make that call. But for the .get and the .post method, you actually pass in arguments and not an object. And that is the big difference between those three. The next question, number 5, what is the difference between .get and .post? The .get method has data that's encoded in the URL by the browser, and it's visible in the URL, and it's stored also in the web history. The .post uses name-value pairs submitted in the body that is being sent, and it's part of the HTTP request, and it cannot be seen in the browser bar, so it has a little bit more anonymity to it. So that's the main difference between .get and .post. And then the last question is, how can we change the class of an element using jQuery? So jQuery actually provides 3 different methods that we can use to change the class of an element. We have the add class method, we have the remove class method, and we have the toggle class method. Add class, as its name applies, is it will actually add a class to an element. Remove class will remove the class from the element. And toggle class, what it does is a combination of add and remove class working together. You give it the name of a class. If the element doesn't have the class, it will add it to the element. If the element does have the class, then it removes it from the element. And that is the 3 different ways that you can add a class to an element in jQuery. Okay, that is all that I had on potential questions that you might have on jQuery as part of your whiteboard exercising. Hopefully these episodes have been beneficial to you. If they are, feel free to leave a comment below. Feel free to like this video, share it with your friends. My name again is Jennifer Bland. My website is jenniferbland.com. Thank you very much for watching.